Good morning and welcome to Options Center. It is FOMC Day, Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. Welcome, everybody. If you're new here, go down to that bottom right-hand corner, hit that Options Center logo, and subscribe. Today is a huge day, and we're up right at my target. And you can see we're on the monthly time frame. We're going to do SPY on the monthly all the way down to 65. And I'm going to go around the horn. I have a concern. And my concern, I am short the market and I am long small caps. But my concern is, and I'm going to show you this, is that we actually break through this target and overthrow, and perhaps, since we're on the monthly time frame, sometime this month, form a doji and then get our reversal lower. Okay, so I don't know how high that could be. This is just potential. This is not even probable. This is just a situation that with the Fed, all of a sudden price action could accelerate. We've had a big move today and it could just accelerate 2%. And I'm going to show you how that could look. So I do have long calls. And I am going to protect myself from that. So that's why we do this. That's why we do these videos so often. So hit that notification button and turn the speed up to 1.5 if you don't have enough time to just sit here and listen to me talk slow and describe everything, okay? Important information. Now, consider being a supporter. This is an intraday video. I usually will not release these until 4 p.m., but today I'm going to make an exception. It's only $1. I want to get this information out to as much public as possible so they can protect themselves if they are shorting the market or even if they're long the market. We're right at a trend line, major trend line from 2000 top here to 2022 top to right now. So let's get into it. We have SPY on the monthly time frame. I told you that's the trend. We made it up to that point. We're on it right now as we speak. And you know what? This is a good time to re-show, if that's a right word, the divergences really quick. All right, divergence. Are we quite up to that? Do we have room to go up there? That's a concern. But there's negative divergence all over the place. Okay, weekly time frame. This is the traditional technical analysis. We have that line drawn right here from the top. You get to show you right now. So this weekly candle could, if you're a bull, be careful. This could turn into a big doji candle, and then going into next week, we start to reverse. We're at our target. There's some room. If we do it today going on into the future, there's room for the top of the channel, potential channel. There's only one touchdown here, but this trend line seems to be very valid with 3 points. Up 550 or so. Anything can happen on FOMC. So can we wick through much higher? We'll see. But in general, we're in a bullish stance. We have the momentum to the upside. Trend is up so far, but we're just getting to those resistances in symmetry and in traditional technical analysis as well. So what would it look like on the upside if we just started to shoot higher? And I don't think that would take very long. So I had this drawn up here from, because that's our weekly target, 560. 560 is about 17 points away. That's not far. That's about 170 points on the SPX or ES. That can be done in one gulp. And if it wants to continue into Friday, then, you have a few days that this could happen. But this would look a little bit more like this, in my opinion, because we have a cluster here towards the end of July I'm trying to work this out right now. That's really a long time to get up there. Not sure if that's how this is going to look, but we'll look for some more time ratios on lower time frames. I think this might be more of if we get up there or not, or if we turn around right now, then we'll be looking for a bottom. I think that's more likely of a situation later in July, looking for some sort of temporary or bullish bottom. Okay, so we'll leave that for now. But that's the last target that we have from this 2022 decline. And this is the extension. This is the first primary extension. This is the second primary. Right now, we're at a minor extension at the 150, and I'll show you in the lower time frame. Let's go down there. Let's go down to the daily. Trend is our friend, and we're just filling out this bearish rising wedge here. We got to our point. Look at all this confluence here. We're rejecting off it. We're holding. Now, if we break above this wedge, this thing could start running. Okay, that's my concern. And I'll show you those individual things that I'm concerned about and show you, can those lift the market, or will those go up while a lot of big tech names will drag the market? We'll have to see. Anything can happen at this point with FOMC. So we have this huge gap into this area here. So we're virtually neutral. We have plenty of puts on in different time frames, in going out weekly into monthly, and then we have calls, plenty of calls. So we're going to see how this plays out, which starts to dominate, and then we'll, as we get more information after today, we'll start to put more of a bias in our trade. All right, but everything's bullish. 8 EMA, 20 simple trend indicator. And let's go to the daily, our projection here. Now let's start off, anybody that's brand new. This is our ending diagonal that we're looking at. They're all made of 3 waves. We have 5 of them. So we have 1, A, B, C for 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for this to be a possible A, B, C here into our target. All right, our target for this time frame on the daily is 545, about 546. There's a little bit of room to go up there if price wants to spike up there after the Fed talk. So we'll keep that in mind. That's this is a zone. It's a 540 to 545 zone. We're at that zone, but it still has some room to the upside, and that's the 150 extension I was just talking about in the weekly time frame. So this is one way that it could look for us. It doesn't have to reach there, and then we start to make lower highs and lower lows and continue on. Now there is an alternative cycle. There's an alternative projection, and I'm not going to show this now. You'll have to look at yesterday's video, and I'll post that up above and at the end of the video, so you can check that out. I just don't have time right here. Let's check the DMARC. Let's just see what we have here. I haven't checked this yet. And so that, okay. Alert didn't happen, but we have a 7. So if there's 2 more days up, that in the situation that we're talking about, where price is still going to move up, or it just doesn't take out the lows of the last 4 bars, then we may have a 9 count sell signal, and that would actually be a 9 sell signal for a reversal. So we're looking for a reversal, even if price still does go higher. But just keep in mind, we have that last target at 560. That's well a ways away, but if the market really wants to take whatever, maybe Powell says we're going to lower rates, or if he actually does this time around, maybe the market spikes and goes all the way up here in the next few days before a huge reversal into a recession. Okay, this is a big deal. We're getting up to these big deal levels. So we have to be very careful on what price does. Now, going to SPY on the 65, we'll show you the last types of first, the traditional technical analysis. Here's our wedge, filling it out. We had that target box up here for quite some time. We're not to the top of the target box, and you have the wedge a little bit higher. So again, we have some higher price action that could happen here. So we have a red box illuminating that, and then I do believe we're going to break down from this wedge. But like I said, if we get on top of this wedge, because of individual names that we're going to go through in just a minute, Tesla, NVDA, IWM with all the small caps, there's so many setups. I'm not going to go through all those. But IWM itself will represent all of those small cap stocks that are setting up. Okay, so there's our target box. We're at that box right now. And here's the Elliott wave / Fibonacci board. We have a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to end this. And, you know, the price action is just going to go up and down, and then it's going to have to resolve itself. That's typically what happens. So, you know, is this an A, B, or is this a WX? And then maybe it pulls back a little bit, but then shoots up, and maybe that's another zigzag that's going to form. So again, I'm not going to release too many options. I'm not going to close out too many options unless they're for Friday and they go to extremes, but I need to let things play out. I'm not going to get scared out of positions. I have puts and I have calls. Whichever one dominates is the ones that, or maybe they'll both work as a pairs trade. Okay, but this is our target, or 1618 target here at 543. That's the lower end of that box, and we got that from this past retracement here. And so we looked at all the retracements until you got above at the 0% here. So you got above there, and now we're looking at the extensions. We hit all of them. All right, we hit our first target, hit our second target, jumped over the third target, and we're now at the final target on this time frame, the 65 minute. Okay, so super important area. I can't stress it enough. Again, I'm not gonna, at this point, I'm not going to look at all these different time frames to see what's going on, where. We do have a nice cluster here at about the end of June. So just keep it in mind. I'm not going to stress on which way it's going to go, because it's going to go both ways right now. It's just if we get on top of 543, I know that we have a zone up here, but you got to stay and consolidate above 543. And then I think we're going for that last target at 560. Okay, and then we'll let the longs go. We would obviously be bearish below 543. You stay below, or if we stretch above to those other targets and then have a nice wick down there, then we'll have to be very cautious and think more bias bearish. But I still, at that point, am not going to go all out, because tomorrow it could gap right back over. This FOMC has to play itself out. All right, enough lecturing here. VIX. VIX is at that support area that I was talking about. It still possibly could go lower and make a new low. With that happening, we're going to keep an eye on the VIX. If that starts to happen, then we think that the market is going to continue and grind higher to that 560 area and just overthrow everything, and just, because I'm sure so many people are looking to the downside. It at least will get some stops, I believe, and then head lower. But if it wants to keep going higher, we'll have to watch the VIX, and we'll set our, I didn't even do that yet. We have to set our alerts. Starts to break below, and I'll set some more later. Okay, so my concern, first off, pull this up. My concern is Apple. Apple's already in a breakout. It's on a tear. It could continue. It could consolidate. It's got market structure here. That could be a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the 3/4 could, can continue to play out. This is very simple, okay? And Amazon, because you have this setup here, maybe a cup and handle, so you see Amazon here is on the verge of breaking out. Well, look at XLY. I talked about this the other day. I talked about, and Tesla's it's hitting my alerts again. So XLY, I said it was breaking out. I posted this. It back tested, and it is now continuing that breakout. So the biggest components of XLY are Amazon and Tesla. Tesla's already 5%. I'm holding on to this bad boy. All right, this is just now breaking out. And with Tesla, we could see some 10% moves and constantly 2-3% moves as it makes new highs here. And I talked about in old videos, and I'll post that up. But, I'll show where those targets are. I'm not going to show it in this video. I already did that, and so I'll post that at the end as well. Other concerns? Google. This is a big one. I'm long Google as well because we had our triangle setup here, the inverse head and shoulder. We showed that. Yeah, it's back testing here, but it could also continue to break out. Yes, if it breaks down from this, then that was a fake break. So it could go either way, but we're hedging with it. NVIDIA, there's another one. This one looks like it has a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it's now starting to unfold. So you might have 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and then 4, 5, 4, 5. Continue these moves to the upside. It just does not look complete at this point. So those are my concerns, especially this one here, that we continue higher and it's going to drag the market with it relentlessly, and people are going to short it and short it and short it. And so I don't mind shorting the market. I'm not scared about doing that, but I am concerned that with FOMC maybe pivoting or giving a sign that next meeting that they might actually they might pivot next meeting, or considering it. If they use that verbiage, then that could send the market off to the race, because technically they didn't pivot yet. And I'm looking for the pivot for the actual recessions to start. Okay, so they're going to say, hey, rates are coming, possibly, and the market say, yay, and just continue to move up higher. Last concern, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is setting up again. Yes, it is backtesting a trend line, but ultimately it is just setting up. It'll be better on the daily time frame. And so I am long Riot and Mara right now. Okay, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. An inverse head and shoulder, neckline up here. This is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple top here. This is setting up for a higher move. So Bitcoin's going to be bullish there. Those are all the things that are saying that maybe we get a pullback first. I don't know that, but the market, if you don't go all out short right here, even though we're at our target, and the market just take off on you and grind to the upside up to 560, 170 points away on the SPX, you better believe we're going to go start shorting the market at that extension, but without much protection at that point. But we're just about neutral. I would say a little biased on the upside, just because puts they'll gain much faster ground if the market is bearish. Okay, that's my rant. That's what I have to show you. I want to get that out of here. So before 2 o'clock, before all that shenanigans starts. So don't forget to like the video. Consider supporting the channel. We will talk to you soon.